No, actually, I don't.
Oh.
I don't have a cold
I
open.
had like questions. We got questions?
Let me see.
Anyone got a question? Questions?
Sounds like Antonio does.
I was just gonna rehash the delusions thing.
What delusions?
Well, me and Q were talking, and I've been going through this phase of just creating fantastical situations in my head.
I'm like, he's going through flights of fancy.
Oh.
You know what? I'd like.
Do you ever do that?
Where I make up fake scenarios?
I have like a thing full of cold open ideas, but I'll save that for the next episode.
fancy
Yeah.
flight.
I want to know what.
Explain to me more about what this delusion means and what I need to know.
Have
I
you
need
ever
more
just
context.
set a context? You ever just make up a scenario in your head?
About
Oh,
either
that's
ruins
it.
your
That's
day?
it. Period.
Yeah.
Like about a
Oh,
person.
and it ruins your day.
Not ruins your day, but for a few moments you just believe it. You delude yourself into believing it.
No.
Yes.
I know it's a fantasy.
Not quite often, but maybe from time to time.
Yeah. I've deluded myself, and then I get worked up about the scenario, and I'm like, wait a second, it's fake.
Oh yeah, 100%. I think I let myself kind of dive into it for a little while, and it's the only way I can feel anything.
An example.
Yeah, you want to give the details?
Do you want to share?
No, I don't want to give the details.
No, why did you bring it up?
Imagining a relationship with someone in your head, and then imagining them cheating on you, and then just going
And then being mad.
spiraling into just a rage for no reason whatsoever.
Hey, you're mad at this person for no reason.
Yep.
That's realistic, and I feel like that happens more often than we think. That's the number one
Cheating on
delusion.
people?
Yeah,
Cheat,
no,
cheat,
you're
cheat.
just
No,
I'm not even
imagining
with you.
you're cheating.
I'm not even with you, but you're with that person. You're cheating on me. I fucking hate you.
Yep.
How could you do this to me?
I feel that.
We had a family in my brain.
Right?
What about her children?
So yeah, that happens.
I've done that. Absolutely.
100%.
My celebrity crush, Daveed Diggs, when I was in Tucson, I had this whole fucking flight of fancy where I'm like, he's a poet in the MFA and we fall in love. And I had this whole fantasy planned out. Really kept me entertained during class.
Hey y'all, welcome to Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. My name's Dahlia.
I'm Sky.
I'm Antonio.
I'm Ketzel. And we're still just 4 purge-respecting Americans who watch movies that everyone else has watched, except one of us is a loser who hasn't. Today we're watching a movie that is what the first movie should have been according to the masses. The Purge Anarchy, released in 2014, directed by James DeMonico. And today's loser is...
It's me!
Surprise.
But we all knew that.
But we all know that I'm a fan of The Purge now, so here we are. The Forever Purge!
Forever Purge. You did. You went on a video dive, right?
I sure did.
My
And
fault.
I think that I already forgot it, which is great because then I don't remember anything.
That's what happens when you forget things. You don't remember.
Where am I?
Also, we're all together.
Look!
Oh, yeah.
It's live and in person.
Live from Las Vegas.
Live from Las Vegas.
It's Saturday morning.
Ah!
Why do we do that a lot now? We go, ah!
Sometimes you just gotta scream.
Oh my gosh.
You did that when I was doing Big Eden at some point. There's this one point where you see the audience just go, brr, and it says we all start screaming.
And I love that for us.
Didn't love it from my ears. Yes.
Oh, I got nothing. I just saw. And I was like,
There was that one, I'm sorry to
No, please
detract this,
derail.
but I'm
Detract.
I'm like, there was a sound that you made, I think, in one of the last 2 episodes where you're like, I'm.
Yeah. Look at you.
Who, me? Oh.
Yeah.
I don't even know.
I loved
It's
it.
back. It's
I thought it
a
was so
broke back, no?
charming. He's like, no, it was so good.
What was it for?
I don't remember.
Oh my
You
god.
gotta listen to that episode
You're so
now.
you don't. So.
I live solely in the present.
Also,
also not in any timeline whatsoever.
the Big Eden, when I had done it and I was watching it to make sure the audio was synced up, the whole lunch break we had was so funny because me, Antonio, Ketzel were dying laughing at every fucking thing we said, and you were just sitting there with your peaches just not reacting to anything we did.
And we were losing our fucking shit. You're just like,
Am
we were
I?
losing our mind because we were
Did
laughing
someone
at...
take a wing?
I don't want to alarm anyone.
but a wing is missing.
And then God gives his hardest battles to his strongest
And
enemies.
my favorite thing about that is it started because you had jalapeno or something.
Oh, yeah, you were
and
like-
you're like, it's not fair.
It's
So
a
good.
medical condition.
It's not fair.
Because Dolly was like, dude, you're sweating. And you were like, the jalapenos.
The video is gonna be so fucking good.
Hey there guys, it's Dahlia, post-production. I just wanted to tell you guys that we do have that video up on YouTube and you can absolutely watch it. It's a hoot! Now back to our banter.
The Purge.
Why did we pick this again?
Yeah, why are we going back to Planet Purge twice in a year?
Yeah, we just did this in March.
Yeah.
Because it's the 4th of July!
It's the 4th of July!
Wow.
The Squeakquel.
It's a squeakquel. We love them in this household. I mean, you can go to Conjuring 2. And
Electric
also the
Blue.
argument about Full Throttle.
Full throttle. Full throttle.
Because sometimes the sequel is better than the first one.
It is.
Or sometimes the sequel's better. Sometimes they're equally as good. And sometimes they suck.
Kind
we
of
covered
like
I think mostly they
Austin
suck.
Powers. I like the
Most
second one
sequels
better.
do suck. There are the
Throttle.
occasional ones that are great. Like, see Shrek 2.
Shrek 2.
There's nothing wrong with
Clear
Shrek
winner.
1.
No,
though.
no,
No,
there's
but
no,
Shrek
no,
2
no,
is
no.
better, right?
It's just the story.
Out,
Right?
out of
Right.
the two, which
Right,
one
right,
would you
right.
rather
I'd rather
watch?
be watching Shrek 2.
Exactly.
you.
Okay, that's fair.
But no, Shrek, obviously.
Well, that's because
Shrek
I'm
1 is
gay.
amazing.
Also,
I mean, come on.
Spotify,
We all are.
if you still haven't, please.
Hey, man.
Hey, man. Hey, man.
Hey, so I don't know if there's anyone out there that has never seen Shrek. Please see us because
Please
we're losing
Please
contact
write
us.
us an email. If you guys forget, we do have an email you can like submit shit to, and we would love to have you here because if you haven't seen Shrek, you're missing a
Or
piece
even
of cinema.
Shrek 2. We'll do Shrek 2. I would love to talk about Shrek 2.
My friend was telling me that they have a friend, I don't know them, but has not seen any of the Shrek films. And I'm like, how have you lived?
Monster.
They haven't.
They don't.
You haven't lived till you've seen
It's
a Shrek
called
film.
culture.
It's called learning
Find
empathy, love, humor.
The next point is I wrote, if you guys want to go ahead and say it.
The Forever Purge!
We love Planet Purge here in this sit-down loser household. And it's so different from the first one. I figured it would be kind of fun to see what you think about
Right.
both. Like, this one versus the other one. Since they're fresh to you, you know?
That is very true. And you can go to point 3 before I talk about what I do or what I know.
Is it more exciting, more blurred, more
More
purging?
purgin'?
That's for you to find out, friend.
Does this also open the door for us to like start to watch the sequels? Like, is there an episode in the future where we're watching Full Throttle?
Maybe.
There could
Yeah,
be.
I mean,
I'd like to
honestly,
see it.
we could come back to it like
a
in
bonus
a year.
episode.
Bonus episodes, yeah.
Bonus episodes or like, just next year or a year after that at some point eventually.
Or the year after that. Or the
She's
year
a
after
I mean,
that.
the reason
We'll just
we
have
did
a yearly watching of Full Throttle.
the reason we did the Conjuring 2 was because it had nothing to do really with the first one. Like, it was its own story.
Right.
That's right.
Where I guess this one technically is also the same thing.
Yeah, you can.
Curious.
You wouldn't have to watch the first one to
No.
watch.
The second one.
I almost said the Conjuring 2 Purge 2. Which goes into what do you know about this film?
Let's start off with I don't know anything. I think it's the 4th of July. That's
For July.
Yeah. Cue Fall Out Boy music.
Or the Vine.
But yeah,
I opt for the Fallout Boy music.
Thank you, Antonia. I love that Vine, but I love Fall Out Boy.
Say something.
drinky. Anyway, I did watch the first one, and then I think I was told, if you guys heard that episode, that it was something very different and unexpected. Like, people went there and kind of expected something else. I think you mentioned that too.
Yeah.
And I didn't know what to expect. It was really just a thriller, and I think from what I recall in these like faint flashbacks that I'm getting in my brain is like not the stuck in my house situation, but running away from being killed.
Yeah.
And I don't know if it's like, it's called the Purge Anarchy, right? I know that there's like the Purge.
The Purge.
What is it? Like, it was very political.
The Purge.
Election year?
Election year. There you go.
That's the
And it is an
next one.
election
one,
year
yeah.
this year, if you guys weren't aware. But yeah, and that's also kind of an underlying reason why we wanted to watch this again, because it's 4th of July. It always came out, I think, like,
Yeah.
near the 4th of July, which is so American, right? And yeah, but I don't know anything about this. What number is this in the series of movies?
2.
Oh, so immediately after the Purge, this is like the second film.
This,
Oh, you mean timeline wise?
yeah, this would be the next one timeline wise.
Okay, and then in release.
Yes.
It's the second one.
Okay,
It's
don't
the
do
second
anything-
one through and through.
It's the second one on both counts.
gotcha.
They don't go back until the one where it's like the first
prequel.
Purge.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is the prequel.
So it goes
first
1,
Purge.
2,
Which is a
3,
stupid. We
and then 0.
conversations
Yeah.
we've had.
But I think the argument for this one is the one I have, and it was in our opening, is like, I think this should have been the first film.
Gotcha.
And we can debate that.
Well,
after
I
the
mean,
fact.
I don't want to like. I know we've been talking about lenses, which is so fantastic. I think like one of you guys brought it up. It's like looking at the movie through this like lens that you already have, but looking at it, you know, I like to go into movies already like not really expecting anything. I'm just watching it for like the sake of watching it, and then I have my own feelings about it. And I feel like I want to go into this one too in the same way. I mean, I already know what happened in the first ever release of the Purge that we watched already, but I know this one's going to be different, and I think it's exactly what I think the Purge is as a whole,
Yes.
I think,
right?
yeah, I think I've been trying to do that with like horror movies lately. Like in theaters, like trying to just go in not really
Expecting
seeing any
anything.
trailers, like nothing. Like I really tried not to watch any trailers for Nope.
Me too.
And then I saw that the one when we
The
saw
when we were
Jurassic World.
watching
I
the
was
movie.
like, oh, man, I didn't want to watch any because I just want to go in not knowing anything, and then like, because now I'm expecting aliens.
See, going with that is one of the things that, aside from just the cover, is how I ended up watching Feast. I didn't know anything about it.
And here we are, Feast again.
I didn't know anything about it. I didn't know that it was that gross or that like wild.
I would like to see the trailer, and you tell me that you didn't think it was that gross. Wait, you didn't see a
He
trailer?
didn't see anything. You just
No, I
you just
literally
saw the
watched
cover.
it.
So yeah, it was literally just the DVD.
Just like a book.
And you didn't stop watching it when it started getting nasty, huh?
No,
No.
I'd already been invested.
You've been infested.
Okay.
That's how like a lot of movies that I kind of like I go into and I'm just like ooh, and not
I think I would like to watch the trailer at the end of this episode.
That's how you get into these nasty scenarios. It's because you go in without.
I
He's
go
like,
in with the
"Huh,
blindfold.
okay."
Like this is back during the days of like before streaming and everything.
Yeah, there were library
you would
films.
literally walk down the aisles of the library.
You know,
Pause.
that's funny because I think it's still going.
It's still
Oh,
recording.
That's how I watched Repo. I saw the cover and I saw Paris Hilton's name and I was like, "What
Sick.
the fuck?" I was like, "I'm
Paris
gonna watch
Hilton
this.
did a movie.
I'm gonna watch this."
Love
And
Repo.
She
and
was
now it's one of my
also in
favorite
House
movies.
of Wax.
Yeah, she was.
Yes, she was.
She was, and I watched that last year.
I watched
For
it
the
a
first
couple
time,
years
like
ago.
3 years ago, yeah.
Yeah,
It was weird.
that shit was wild.
It is a little bit weird.
Soundtrack,
I have
though?
seen.
Slaps.
Does it really?
Yeah.
I don't think I like paid attention to the soundtrack. I have seen the original House of Wax, or one of the ones like the older versions, and man, that one was wild.
I do want to watch that one. I feel like, you know, the early
Is there how many versions are
2000
there?
I think there's only 2.
Yeah.
There's just the new one and then the old one. Okay, I
There
saw
might
the
be 3. I think there's 2 though. But you know the early 2000s.
Oh yeah,
The
100%.
double on.
My
My
Bloody
Bloody
Valentine.
Valentine.
Oh my god.
Because those are the 2 I watched back to back, and I was like, man, these were bad.
There's-
I liked House of Wax more though. I will say.
Well, yeah. And like any of like the kind of reboots for Texas Chainsaw Massacre,
I don't watch any of those except for the first one, the first and second one. Like the
I've seen
original
a couple of
first
them,
and
like
second
not enough to like see. But you have seen like Wrong Turn. That's another one that's super bad.
one. The remake was so good though.
It is very good.
I was so
It's-
shocked.
It's amazing what they let people get away with back in the 2000s. You two are so foolish.
Anyway. anyway.
take us anywhere.
Anyway, okay, so
Ultimate.
SAR. The scores on this, so Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 57, audiences gave it a 56, and then Google users gave it an 81.
Real quick, can we
Ooh.
rehash what the scores were for the original Purge comparatively?
Yeah, we can absolutely do
I
that.
can do that on my phone, so you can keep that up.
Actually, no, because I had deleted it because I was trying to make room in our drive. So I took a screenshot of it because I'm smart. SAR, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 39.
Wow.
Google
What?
users gave it a 77, and then the audience score is a 36. So actually, this one's
Whoa.
higher than the first
Ooh.
one.
That's rough.
That is a little
That is
rough.
really rough.
Wow,
Well,
that's
that,
weird.
That also goes back to the conversation of expectations. like you were saying.
And that's
Everyone
why I was
was
excited by
expecting
it. Yeah.
like
I mean,
this,
I
you
liked
know,
it better
concept would be you would see more than just this family in the house. But when you watch the trailer, I mean, it's kind of
You know what's
I know.
funny too is like I feel like even though it wasn't rated very high, people like still liked it more than the first one, even though they didn't really like it based on these scores. But like, you know, we know that this turned into like a really big series that kept going. So like people was like, I like it though.
I mean,
enough people said I like it though.
that, and
to
also
keep it
they were like,
going.
oh, maybe this one's different.
And it was.
So it still made money, you know, like
Yeesh.
Maybe it'll be different this time.
yeah.
And now I'm curious to know what the next one is like, but we don't have to go into that.
Do you want me to look up the scores for the third one?
For bonus
Just
epi.
well,
Maybe.
Just
no,
for
to
shits and
see,
giggles for ourselves.
like, where it like
where it landed.
yeah.
Did they have an increasing score?
Did it land?
Like a student that's
Purge
like, I don't want to
election
fail out of high school, please.
Rotten
I
Tomatoes
will
said
try harder,
37.
please. 37.
Wow.
Okay, so Purge election year, Rotten Tomatoes gave it a 55. Google users gave it an 85,
Oh.
and then audiences gave it a 48.
Oh, so it did get a little bit better, but critics were still like, meh.
The Purge is so fascinating. It really has a grip on the audience.
I think so too. Oh, well,
I
I'm
mean, we've seen
interested
every one.
now.
We have.
So
The only thing I
Yeah,
haven't
no.
seen is the TV show.
that's the only thing I haven't seen either. But from what I was reading, I was like, that sounds kind of interesting.
I don't
So
know.
I
anything
What's it
might have
about
to
about?
check it out. It's like it's all different storylines still.
Oh, is
Oh,
it like an
shit.
anthology thing? Kind of like a Purge anthology?
No, because it's still like it's episode by episode, and you still follow the same ones, but it's like multiple storylines.
Oh, okay.
Crazy. Well,
Crazy.
who's in
Maybe
this
we should
movie?
watch that.
Yeah, who is in this movie?
Frank Grillo.
Hot.
Nope.
He's pretty hot. I think he's a douchebag though. But
He is a
Nah.
douchebag.
He's-
What was your first Frank Grillo experience?
Was it
A Marvel
Winter
film?
Soldier?
Yeah, it was Winter Soldier. He was in Winter
Or-
Soldier.
These can't. I think it was Winter Soldier.
Yeah.
I don't know.
When did Winter Soldier come out? Was it 2014 too?
That
Probably.
seems about right.
That
That was when Ultron came out, and that came out right before Ultron, didn't it?
I think so.
Because they were anky at each other. Because I've seen Age of
2014.
Ultron the most.
2014.
I know, you guys. Shut up. We've had this conversation.
okay. It's okay. I still have only watched Endgame once, twice.
It's called
I don't know.
trauma.
Yeah, I remember your little spiel about it shouldn't have ended
We
that
all
way.
do.
Anyway, okay, so
I'll get off my hill.
Well, okay, why did you ask that though?
No, I actually, you know, I think the first time I ever saw Frank Grillo in anything, and I was like, oh, he's kind of hot, but he's kind of douchey, was this like movie called Mother's Day, and he was in that, and I don't want to spoil it because it's kind of crazy, but that was the first time I ever saw him, and then I saw him in Winter Soldier. I was like, oh my god, that's that guy. Like, Mother's Day is not by any means like a super popular film. I'm the only person in this room that has seen it. I know I am. But like, he goes on to be what's his name in the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
Crossbones.
Crossbones. And he's not only in just like the movies, he's also inside of the show. Is he in the show?
The Defendies?
No. Agents of Shield. Is he in Agents of
I
Shield?
don't think so.
Oh, he isn't.
I don't
Okay.
think so. I didn't watch that though. So
That's
I don't
Marvel,
know.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Winter
Am I
Soldier.
wrong?
He-
Defendies.
Yeah.
The Defenders, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
Anyway,
I'm not a Marvel guy. Okay.
Yeah, I know. Carmen
Ejogo.
Carmen Ejogo, Zach Gilford,
Keely
Keely
Sanchez
and
and
Zoe
Zoe
Soul.
Soul.
Well, you know Frank.
I only know Frank.
I know Frank.
Maybe I know Zach Gilford from something else. The name is familiar to me.
He was the last thing I saw him in was Midnight Mass.
Oh.
I hear that's good.
It's excellent.
I should watch.
Very good.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know any of these people, so I have no expectations, other than it's the 4th of July.
It's the 4th of July.
And it's just kind of crazy because 4th of July is just a wild time in the United States. Everybody's just
Oh.
American for one day.
You think it's set during 4th of July?
Isn't it?
No, it's set
No,
during
no.
the Purge. The Purge is the same day.
Oh, shit.
Every
Oh,
year.
my God. Is it like...
March 24th.
I don't like
Isn't
that.
it March 21st?
Not March 21st. 3, 2, 1.
But this is coming out on the 4th of July. There's nothing more American than purging.
That is so true. Anyway,
Then genocide.
and that's tea.
That's on period. Antonio, you okay, bud?
He's
I
looking
just
up some
looked up
people.
Zach Gilford. He's in the first Purge.
He is.
Is he the
Maybe
polite
that's just
leader?
Google fucking up.
Just kidding. Polite
Google
leader
doesn't
dies,
fuck
doesn't
up. Google is truth.
he? Polite leader dies.
Huh?
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, you can't make it into the next one.
You're like that Huig.
All right, let's end this.
Okay, bye.
Bye.
Hi, we're back.
Hi.
Oh, the blueberry one's
Arf.
good.
Arr.
No.
That's just gonna be an ongoing thing for us, isn't it?
For a little while.
In me mouth.
I hope you guys copy that, fans. Anyway, we're
My
back.
fans.
It was.
Did you guys ever do an OnlyFans?
Would
I
we
would.
ever?
I
Yes.
would.
I
I
would.
would do it so fuck. Every single day, I get one step closer to
Me
that.
too. Every single day.
Every single day, I consider it more.
I'm
and more.
like, y'all want to see this? I'm like,
for
for
how
some money.
money? What did you? Right? We all agree. Come on, we're all adults here.
Yes, I know. Yeah.
How much would you show? Everything.
Everything.
Anything and everything.
Probably everything.
Everything.
But
I
there
would
would be
show
like a
everything.
tier system, and if you got the
If
goods,
you got the cash?
You got that cheddar? You got that green?
that green.
You got the dollar bills?
I know this is not another cold open. We're just going
Okay,
off.
alright.
No, we're just popping off.
Hello.
The Purge. Forever Purge.
Wow, that was
This
actually
is Purge Anarchy.
the Purge Anarchy.
This is Anarchy.
Forever Anarchy.
Which is really a really low, like, it's like Anarchy's like diet anarchy, because considering what happens in the Forever Purge, you know, this is just kind of diet.
Ooh, yeah. You know,
Forever
I
Purge
did
was
like
a
that
lot.
about the Forever Purge.
It was just actual anarchy, actual chaos.
That was true anarchy.
Anyway, do you like it? Do we start off with that?
Yeah, I liked it.
What a
it
Cute.
it was like a lot of there was a lot of me talking my thoughts out, and I'm
Mhm.
sorry because that's just how I watch movies sometimes. But I feel like I was pretty spot on in some cases, so I was like, wow. But I was impressed. It was definitely different than the first movie for sure. I liked the converging of stories. I didn't know they were all going to come together to one. I thought that it was going to be like, anywho. Yeah, it was good. I liked it a lot. Let's dive into it.
Can I ask this now or should I ask this later? How do you feel about it compared to the first one?
I think we should save that to the end.
Okay.
Closer to the end.
Okay.
Okay, let's
All
start.
right. So,
You asked and then went straight into the question.
all right. So we're
Better forgiveness than permission, I guess.
we. So this starts off on the eve of the 6th annual Purge, and it's March 21, 2023,
Not far off.
Which
3,
is
2,
so
1,
wild. That's
20,
like
which is
23.
next year.
next less than 1 year from now at the time of this recording and also the release of this podcast. It was wild. 3, 2, 1.
Yep.
Mm-mm-mm.
So there's 3 storylines that we get acquainted with, and this all takes place in LA. Okay, the first.
Which has a
honestly,
subway
that was
system.
like the worst. I discovered that, and I'm like, that's honestly the worst place to be if the purge happened.
The subway system?
No,
LA.
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 Also, yes.
Or New York.
LA,
Also
New York,
that.
Vegas. I think all like the big cities would probably be not chill.
Very.
Pretty unchill, I would say.
Pretty unchill.
Super unchill.
All right, so the first storyline is a waitress named, is it Ava? It's Ava,
I would
right?
say
Ava.
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 Eva.
Ava.
Eva.
Eva. That's
Thank
what
you.
that's why I was like Ava.
Let's just say that.
Ava and her 17-year-old daughter Callie and her terminally ill father Rico, who all hate the NFFA,
Which is the new
is T.
founding fathers of America.
Okay, so basically, see, I had a really hard time summarizing all this.
No,
and making
like
it flow.
this is
that a
what their
good
stories
summary?
are. No, this is what they're good. This is what
Yeah.
the story is
Okay.
like.
The story
Alright.
is like,
So once the purge starts, in this storyline, her father Rico sneaks off into a limousine waiting for him after leaving a note to the family, explaining that he sold himself as a purge offering to rich people for $100,000 to be given to Ava and Callie once the purge ends. They obviously are very upset by all of this.
I just want to point out that in your writing you said Eba
I-
because you
it-
love to replace V's and B's.
I didn't do that on purpose. I don't know why it auto-corrected to that, and I did not.
Your brain does that.
I did this
automatically.
when I was very tired.
I will say though that I thought it was super fucked up. This was one of the things I was thinking about while I was talking out loud. I was like, oh my god, what if he like sold himself like to be sacrificed so that their family could be safe? But that's not true. They really were only monetarily compensated and there was no protection provided. So I was like, that's kind of fucked. But
they're poor.
But they're
I
poor.
know, but like it's still rough. Like I think that's like so considerate, but I mean that's so fucked.
Yeah.
Period.
Well,
And
that's
then-
the purge.
Yeah. And
Well,
then,
that's Eva's family.
It's called the purge, babe.
Look it up.
all right. So the second storyline we become acquainted with is an estranged married couple named Shane and Liz who are grocery shopping 2 hours before the purge downtown.
Idiots.
And as they're doing so, they're being harassed by a masked gang of bikers, which leaves them shook. And then when they're leaving, surprise, surprise, their car breaks as the purge is just starting. Ruh-roh.
I have the least amount of sympathy for them, and I care the
Totes.
least amount about their storyline. Maybe
Totes.
because they were dummies from the beginning.
Yeah.
I
So
mean,
I don't give a
like,
shit about them.
Let's be real.
You grocery shop a week before the purge. I mean, come on.
A month.
I'm hunkering down,
Freezers.
Yeah.
mama, like hours and hours and hours. Like I'm already like away from prying eyes. But I mean, I guess, do your thing on purge night.
What was so important from the grocery store that they would have to go today?
Hot Cheetos.
Extra hot Cheetos.
It has to be a fresh bag.
Anyway.
that bussin' bag.
And then finally, our third storyline is an off-duty LAPD sergeant named, which I don't think
he
they
has a
said,
name.
They didn't say his name in
A
the
deputy.
movie, but his name is Leo Barnes, who's plotting to kill Warren, who is the man that killed his son while drunk driving the day before the previous year's purge.
Dude,
Warren was acquitted, and Leo is fucking pissed. He's planning to go out and purge the fuck out of this bitch.
and what does he have?
A murder boner.
TTT.
Boner alert.
Boner alert.
Uh-oh.
Ruh-roh.
I have the least sympathy, I think, for sure with Shane and Liz, but like they were just like talking about their divorce like it couldn't have happened on a different day.
Like, it could not be a more pressing thing.
Yeah.
There is nothing less pressing than that. But going back to, grocery shopping and how early.
I gotta talk about this.
No. Here, what if, like, for, like, one of the purge, like, just as a concept, what if, like, you're smart and you hunker down, like, a couple days or a week before the purge and just, like, I'm not going to come back until after the purge is done. But you come back and the forever purge has happened and people are still going ape shit crazy.
I'd be like, God damn it.
God fucking damn it.
What do you mean? Like they're still killing?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like they
But let's say
revolted,
like
right?
2 days before the purge, you go up to a mountain where there's no cell reception, no news whatsoever, and you're just like, I know what happens on the 21st. I'm gonna come back down on the 22nd or the 23rd.
I hate that.
You come down and everyone's still going apeshit crazy, and you're just like, I
Is that
missed
allowed?
something.
It
you
is
not
in the
watch
Forever Purge.
Oh shit! Yeah.
That
No,
was
you'd
how
already be dead though, so it doesn't even matter for you.
this storyline is not yours. This storyline was
Let
not
me
for
preface
you.
this again because we've already been prefaced several times before. And in the first Purge movie that we watched together, Ketzel would just lay down and die.
As I would in most horror situations, quite honestly. Either I would have been in Mexico, or I would have been dead. So I don't know what you guys. I don't know what y'all.
I would have been
do,
pissed.
but
I would have been like,
I
oh
have
shit,
no
I can't believe this is
idea.
fucking happening this year. I guess.
couldn't be me. Also, like when he's like, "If you slow me down, I'm gonna like cut you loose," and I'm like, "That's all I
Cut me
cut
loose,
Daddy.
dude.
Come loose, Daddy-o.
All right.
Look, Big Daddy.
There's only one Big Daddy here.
Stop that.
Which leads us into the next part. So all these storylines are going on. Shane and Liz are fucking running around trying to find a place to hide because their car broke down. They
They
have nowhere
fucked.
to go.
It wasn't really broke down. They cut.
It was sabotage.
It was sabotage.
Yes, they cut some wires in
It
there.
was sabotaged by
The bikers.
the bikers. Eva and Callie are captured by people
By the military.
an army
By a covert operation group.
led by some dumbass called Big Daddy. Ugh.
Ugh.
And Leo is just driving around trying to get to Warren's house. But Leo actually comes upon them as Eva and Callie are being led to the truck or whatever the fuck it is. And he's kind of like, do I save them? Do I not?
No, he's more like, leave him
Don't
alone.
I?
Leave him alone.
Drive
Leave him
away,
alone.
drive
Just
He
drive away.
kept
Just drive
saying,
away.
just drive away, but his body was just like,
Shut up
not
and drive.
paying attention.
So he saves them. Shoots everybody. Seemingly shoots Big Daddy.
Oh, he gets him.
He gets him.
Just not fatally.
Just not fatally. Meanwhile, Shane and Liz sneak into his car. And then as they're all about to leave, they're all yelling at each other because they hid in his car. And they're like, get out of my car. I can't.
Get out me car.
And then he wakes up Big Daddy from his slumber, and he's like, I have arisen. And he's like, ready to...
And they all
pop.
pile in the car and they fucking skedaddle out of there.
And now they're one storyline.
And now they're all together.
They all converge. Isn't that so crazy?
and this is where the
It's so
movie
crazy.
starts.
That's when the good part of this movie starts. And you're like, oh, shit, how are we gonna get
in
out
an
of
alternate
this?
universe, Sergeant drives away, and the other two get killed, and Shane and Liz end up getting purged somewhere random on the street.
They all would have died.
So
End of story.
yeah, but that's
True.
not where this happened. So they skedaddle out of there, and like a little bit further down the road, obviously that car breaks down because Big Daddy fucking shot the hell out of it. I wrote, once the car breaks down because guns bad.
Guns are bad.
They move on foot. And Ava ends up promising Leo a new car from her coworker that lives
Not too far
not
away.
too far in exchange for his protection. And he's like, God damn it, I need the car. So they all stick together.
Absolutely. And we already had seen this coworker in the beginning as we were introduced to the storyline. Her name is Tanya. So we're all making our way to Tanya, who
What was the
I thought
other
was
guy's
so interesting.
Which
When-
other
The male coworker at the diner.
guy? I don't know.
I for
I don't
some reason
fucking
thought he
know.
was in the movie, like longer.
He
No,
wasn't.
just at the beginning.
But
like
he wasn't.
Tanya like gets called right by Eva, who's like oot and a boot on Purge night. Like, I don't know, would you guys have been like that eager to like let someone in your house?
I don't know how
I
close.
thought you guys
I
didn't.
think
Like,
if
Yeah.
it was like a friend, like, because I feel like
Yeah, it'd be
her
like you.
coworker,
Let's say
like,
your
it's
house.
like Anastasia. Like if Anastasia was like,
Hi,
I need a
Anastasia.
place to stay, I'd be like,
Yeah, it's a degree
Let's
of
go. Let's go.
closeness.
It's
Okay,
a degree
okay.
of closeness. It's not like just some.
I wouldn't let
random
any
couple.
coworker.
Whoa,
I'd be
whoa,
like,
Some of them,
whoa,
some
whoa.
of them, yeah, you'd be like, die, bitch.
Stella, cut that out.
Also, would you even have your phone on Purge? I'd be like,
That part.
like
Willful ignorance. I guess, like, I would, if you guys needed me, I would want to know. But also, I'm just going to sleep through it if I am still alive.
yeah. There was that question of who the fuck sleeps through this,
You.
and apparently it's me, and I'm like, I suppose that's right.
Yeah, and also like, you know, we've seen like people track people. Like we've seen it throughout the rest of this movie. Like they're tracking trucks and shit. So like, I don't know. I just thought I'd ask that question because I was like, she was just very willing. So I was like, that's a really good friend, or like she's got something up her sleeve.
Well, let me tell you, ideally, if we were in the Purge situation, we would be, like, vacationing in Mexico at this time. Or,
Like all of us.
In
yeah,
France,
like, we'd be like, oh, yeah, like, let's go somewhere. Yeah,
we'd plan to be out of the country.
Or if we can't leave the country
So,
for
like,
some reason.
Ketzel's parents this year, Antoine's parents next year.
Yeah, or, like, if we have to stay in the States, which I don't know why, I would fly down and we could just stay together. I anticipate somebody's not going to kill me.
Why? Why are you?
So
looking
that's
at me?
crazy. Anyway, so they're going through the streets.
That's crazy.
So
Very cool.
the group sees an anti-purge group. I can't.
Right.
Did anybody catch the name?
I got it.
I forgot to write that down. But the
Carmelo
anti-purge,
Jones's group.
yeah, who's led by Carmelo Jones,
Great name.
has been dominating like the field. They've been taking out all of these military-esque
Right.
purge
have a name.
people. Okay. Military-esque purge people, which is awesome because we want to take those guys out because they suck. They end up traveling through the subways system, which we all found out LA has a subway system.
Apparently, I learned today that LA has a subway system. I feel like I had already kind of known that, but I've just never fucking seen it. So that's wild. And honestly, when they were traveling in there, I was like, that's a pretty good place to hide. But then, no.
Chaos ensues. A pyrotechnic purge group gangs up on them.
It fucking sucks, dude.
And it's crazy. It was like Mad Max, you said.
It was fucking Mad Max.
Perfect.
Those poor, like, literally probably poor people were just hiding in the subways, and then this car comes up, and there's like fucking flamethrowers and
A
shit.
bunch of like
guns.
unhoused folks. Like they're the ones who are gonna get
folks.
killed first.
Exactly. I mean, that's what the whole purge is about. Is like, you know, getting everybody who's below the poverty line
Elitism.
out. T.
Yeah. So in this chaos, Shane is like, oh my God, we're not going to make it because these guys are fucking crazy. So him and Liz start shooting at the fire trucks.
I know, they're so crazy.
The Mad Maxers.
The Mad Maxers, not actual fire trucks, but
The mom and the
cars
daughter
that are on fire.
The mom and the daughter and then the sergeant go away, and then he's like, fuck it, we're not gonna make it, like, we're just gonna
Last
go
stand.
out guns blazing. And then like I just thought it was very like nice and sweet that the wife Liz was like, oh, I'm gonna fucking shoot this shit with you, and she ends up being a really good straight shot.
Yeah. Shane gets wounded, but he tells her, he's like, keep shooting. And she keeps shooting, and they end up popping. I think they kill the driver.
Yes.
And
They kill
the
the
car
driver,
turns,
and then she shoots the propane tank.
Right.
and it blows up.
And
they,
like, it's so
they're safe.
wild. And
they
you,
escape.
you know he's kind of okay because the bullet went all the way through, but it's really hard to tell. Like, you know, obviously people think that the heart is like right here, but it's kind of like right here. But he was like in the shoulder, like, bah, bah, bah. Like, sorry, I'm like mic away from my face. But yeah, it was wild and crazy. And they're looking into the blackness of the subway, and I'm just like, don't stand there. You don't know if they're
It was
looking back at
scary.
you. And then they pop out of the black, and I was like, oh, thank God.
Yeah. So they end up making it to Tanya's.
Yay.
My favorite scene is this fucking whack shit.
This is
Oh
my favorite thing too,
God,
because I was
it's
like,
such a mess.
Before we talk about that, can I just say how fucking wild it was? To just backtrack. They were running through the city this entire time to get to Tanya's. At some point before the subway, they run into this fucking lady who's just like slam poetrying and
I forgot it.
and
Yeah,
then
yeah.
Oh
LA
my
Bridge
God.
shooting into the sky.
Who wrote the? Oh, I guess
I
we'll
mean,
get to
we'll get to my
that.
favorite
She was
one.
saying
Yeah,
some
that's the only-
black
That is
shit.
the only quote worth mentioning in this entire movie.
Absolutely. That,
She was just my sis was just feeling her oats,
She
man.
was going off.
dude.
Go off, slam poet lady.
So yeah,
Collectively,
thank you,
our
thank
favorite
you.
quote of
Thank
the
you for
movie.
mentioning that, because they run into a lot of things. I'm
Whack
obviously
shit.
skimming through a lot, but
Yeah.
that was definitely one
A
worth
lot
mentioning.
of really whack shit.
And I will say that one of the trucks, because like there's multiple ones, it's like fake military-esque like thing happening. They had multiple trucks. One of them did get downed by Carmelo's group, which was very cool. But like obviously there's like a tracking system, and it was like very scary. And I was like, ooh.
Well, they're also tracking them through the traffic cameras.
Yes, and that's like the most ominous of all. It's like, man, you don't know what people are hooked up to.
There's a movie that I think about, or
Oh, God.
show as well, where it's all shot using like
Oh yeah,
security
you
cams.
told us
Oh,
that.
that one.
Yeah, you
Looking.
told
Or-
Look.
Disgusting.
Look, yeah,
Look.
I've seen it.
Looking is the gay one. Look.
Oh yeah,
is
with
Looking
fucking
is on
with Mark
HBO.
Ruffalo and
Had
fucking
No,
Hatching.
with
Which one's that
Jonathan
one?
Groff.
Jonathan
etc.,
Groff.
etc.
No.
No, he
Looking
wasn't.
is a show,
On
and
HBO.
Mark Ruffalo. There's probably a Mark Ruffalo looking motherfucker in there, but it's not Mark Ruffalo.
Anyway, you made me watch
But-
that. Look,
Yeah.
it fucked up, bro.
I did want to like say that only because like that's also how they
Security
find
cams
them
are scary.
at Tanya's
Okay,
house.
right. Thank you. Because I thought I wrote down something about the traffic cameras, but apparently I didn't, because I really was having a hard time writing this. But anyway, so they finally make it to Tanya's place, and dang,
Novella, man.
Ava lied because Tanya don't have a car.
She didn't have a car this whole time.
And
But
you ain't got no money.
Tanya's family takes them in anyway. But mama. Drama.
Dysfunction. I mean, I know we have dysfunctional families,
But this is like tea. Okay.
Spill it.
Sar, Tanya's sister murders. So Tanya's sister murders Tanya for sleeping with her husband, and it's fucking crazy. Like, she goes apeshit, starts shooting her. I think she punches the mom, which I was like,
She does. She does. She punches her own mom.
She punches her own
because the
mom.
mom's trying to stop her from shooting,
My
and
arm will
she's
turn
like,
to ash. My mom always said that
You
if
would raise your arm and just.
my
it
mom
drops.
always said that if a child ever strikes their parent, their arm turns to ash.
Well, that's true.
was
Except
like-
in this case. So she shoots her.
God makes mistakes sometimes.
And it's just crazy. It's just so much drama. And the group, Frank, that's the actor, Leo, gets them the fuck out of there, and they skirt out of there. But they end up being captured by the masked gang that was harassing Shane and Liz in the beginning.
Because guess what? Big Daddy's still fucking alive, and he's using the traffic cams again to stalk them. Like,
Yeah.
it was fucking wild. But, like, they make it, okay? Like, the fucking guys are like, going to the door, like, zzz, with the fucking rotator saw, whatever. But our pals, the main characters, have jumped over the fence already. And there is Leo, the sergeant, I guess. He is just watching in the shadows. He's like, okay,
He's like,
now's my break. I'm going to go. I'm going to do it. He told them to run and don't wait for him. But then he hops over the fence. And then he gets smacked by those guys.
He gets smacked.
He gets smacked by those bikers that were chasing Shane and Liz the whole time.
which it turns out they were chasing them because they're going to sell them
Mhm.
to rich ass auctioneers who buy people, particularly poors, so they can hunt them for sport on Purge
I
night.
don't think they whatchamacall. We're looking specifically for pores. I think they just
They're
happened
the
to-
easiest
Well, the
targets in
thing-
Tokyo.
No, the guy was saying he wasn't even hunting them. They just got lucky.
Scraps is what they call
And
them.
he was just looking for the scraps that survived to the big trucks.
And the big trucks are hunting the easiest
There-
targets.
it's not a concerted
which
effort
are-
where it's like they're looking
Well,
specifically
well, the
because they
big
weren't
trucks-
looking for the whites
Well,
in
no,
the
the
beginning.
big trucks and these guys are different.
They're not the same.
No,
completely different.
exactly. That's why, like, the guys who kidnapped them to auction them off, they're not looking just for
I
pores
think,
because
yeah, I
they
think
saw the two
Antonio
white
was saying-
people. They
It's
saw
not
they
that
were
they're
white.
specifically looking for them, but who is out there with no protection and no nothing?
I know, but they weren't like just
Poors.
grabbing
I'm
just
just
the
saying,
pores.
it turns
They're
out
not-
that it's
they're
elite
not-
versus poor. It's an
Well, yeah,
allegory.
no, but
They're not mutually exclusive is what
Right.
you're both trying to say.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, but they weren't.
But
looking
for the most
specifically
part,
for pores.
yes, this general group of people tends to be the one targeted.
Anyway,
the
did
most.
you guys also notice that Lakeith Stanfield was the guy in the mask? I was like,
Look, Keith can fucking get.
Why
He's
does
so
he
hot.
sound familiar?
he was in Get Out.
Yeah, he was
Yes!
the one who was.
He was the
He
first tooketh.
He said, "Get out."
Yes,
He did
He
say.
said,
he did say get out. I
He
thought
can
that
fucking
he looked
get
so
it.
familiar.
Oh,
I'm like, I've seen you
God.
before. Wow,
Let's
I
just
love
see you in the
callbacks. I love callbacks to our previous episodes. This is why we do this. We're not doing this in a particular order either. It's just somehow we keep doing this, and it keeps going back to previous episodes. So if you haven't heard us from episode 1, oh god, episode 1, you probably know what we're talking about.
He was also
Well,
on Knives
he-
Out, which is also
Yes,
called
he
back to
was.
another episode.
Anar.
All right.
That's not wild.
So as Ketzel said, they are being sold to be hunted by rich, upper class purgers, which is some fucking sick shit, dog.
But you did put
But it sounds kind of fun though.
I want you to explain
No,
which part sounds fun.
The hunting people. But I'd rather hunt like
Isn't
bad
that-
people.
Isn't that the literature that we got in middle school?
Yes, the one where he
the
had
great-
an
the
island.
the
greatest
greatest-
game?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most dangerous game.
The most
Which
dangerous
is-
The most extreme game.
Which Zodiac.
I don't know anything about that.
Oh god, I gotta put that on the list too.
Yeah,
'cause
it's a
you haven't
great,
seen
great
it.
flick,
Oh
great
my
flick.
God, I love
Great
that movie.
flick.
Anyway, and I said LOL JK.
But
after
you know
that.
it's not LOL JK.
But you know it's not
just
LOL
LOL.
JK.
Yeah,
It's just LOL.
I just want I would. Okay, I don't want to explain myself. I don't like no. Like I
Just
want to
because
hunt
it's
the
terrible.
upper class, like the rich
Oh,
people, the asshole
bads.
rich people.
Okay,
the bads.
see that's
So
more
you
want to
like eat the rude, basically.
Eat the rich.
Hannibal had it right.
Hashtag Thanos is right.
oh my god!
That's me.
Stop.
Hannibal over there. Thanos over here.
Tell me why
my.
though. Like remember when
You're
he was,
you're Jigsaw.
Y'all wanna
Tell
play
me
a game?
why. Tell me why. When they were like, okay, so they were like hunting. There is this like dark battleground, right? It's like fucking paintball. Like that's the best thing I can describe it to.
Oh
It's
yeah,
like
laser
paintball
tag.
and
Laser
laser tag.
tag.
And
It's
like
straight
they
up
have
laser tag.
the rich people have like night vision glasses or whatever, and they have their weapons of choice. And then there's like unarmed people, like our main characters. But like it's just fucking wild because like up in the rafters, basically, are the people watching this all go down. And like at some point, yes, they do beat the rich people and they kill them, and then the other ones ran away. But there was a point where like the sergeant was just like pa 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 to the glass. It was bulletproof, but it still scared them, and I was like, I would fucking do that.
They're clutching their pearls.
I would fucking do that.
Yeah, so once they're in the arena, Leo's like, okay, we got to take one of them out. Once I get the night vision goggles, it's ogre for them.
It is.
So
it was.
He takes one of them out, shoots at the elite purgers that are just watching, and then starts killing anybody he can that's like on the opposite side, and he gives weapons to. It was just Liz.
It's just Liz.
I did this before I rewatched it. He gave it to Liz and the goggles too, right?
Yes,
or he gave the goggles
Liz
to
is the
Shane.
only
He gave
competent
a
shooter.
gun, and yes.
She's proven that.
Yeah. And then once obviously the rich people are like, oh my god, they're upraising. The security comes in.
Is it really security though? Because those were people that were helping out with a banquet that was happening. Because they were being
So the cater
auctioned.
waiters come out.
Yes, yes.
So the cater waiters come out with the AKs.
So they come out.
That's the new name of this indie band, you guys.
Cater
Waiters
waiters
with AK.
With AK.
We're a folk band.
Are we like 2012
Synth
Tumblr?
folk.
We're a synth metal folk.
2012 Tumblr synth folk metal. Cater waiters with AK.
Is that the title? I think that might be the title.
That either that or it's the 4th of July.
It's 4th of July. So they come in and to try and stop the uprising, and unfortunately, Shane is unalived.
Not one
Yeah,
alive.
but at the same time,
Did you feel something?
I thought it was sad.
I thought it was
It was
sad.
depressing
it was so
as hell.
abrupt.
It was,
Because
you
she
know.
goes, I want you to know I'll always love you, and then he dies.
I need you to know that I love you.
Oh,
Guess I'll just die.
And then he immediately dies afterwards. And they've been their arc, which is the most inane out of all three of them.
Yeah, it is.
Which I understand is still just so like, kind of like just innocent, because they're just this couple that are going through some hard times. They're not even saying divorce. They're just like, I think we should separate. And then they're like, no, we can't do after
they were
tonight.
trying to resolve things.
Yeah.
And they did, and then he died.
They did, and then he died.
He got
But at the
dead.
same fucking time, this group we've been talking about, Carmelo's group, fucking comes and rains down on these motherfuckers.
With the force
Everybody's
of
like
God.
running away, screaming, and then guess who pops in the door first after popping the gourds? It's our friend, the stranger from the first Purge.
Callback.
The first movie released Purge. Let's get that straight, because again, we have had this conversation where I can't say the first Purge because there's literally a movie called The First Purge. Anyway, the stranger's back and he saves them. Of course, Shane is like unalived, which is very sad. But you know what Liz does? She's like, I want to purge. And honestly, they were like, oh, let's take you under our wing right here.
We got you.
Yeah.
Pa pa pa.
We got you. You know what you're doing.
So that leaves Leo, Ava, and Callie. They get the fuck out of there. And they end up stealing a car from the host of the gala,
The
or whatever
auction-
the fuck,
auction,
auction
I guess,
gala,
one.
whatever the fuck. And
The MC.
to be held like that.
By
Oh!
By Mr. Sergeant, Mr. Liam, Mr. Frank.
You wish that he just like did this to you, like
I know.
holding you up
Yeah.
against the
If
car.
you just went, you just.
You both are like touching me, and I'm like, you know that sound on
By
TikTok?
panic.
You know that song on TikTok that's like just the meowing?
What?
Yeah, let me find it. Let me find it really quick.
Is it just like Timothy Chalamet? And Call Me By Your Name. Remember when when he said he meowed? Archer's back and meowed.
It's worse than he could have meowed. Oh my gosh, I remember that.
I'm so glad that you do. I was
Call
like,
back.
I thought this was like a fake memory, maybe like, oh, that he meowed because I said that about like fucking Ready, and I was like, you mean when they kissed?
Fuck, bro.
You watched
Is that
that?
what was going through
You
your brain
watched
while we were
that?
choking you?
That was going through my brain. Anytime he did something, I was like, man. Just
Do I have to
meowing.
kink shame you?
That's what my pussy was saying.
Like a cat in heat.
I gotta go.
Anyway, so they take the car, and literally he's like, I gotta get to this bitch. So at 6:55, 5 minutes before the purge ends, they arrive at Warren's house. And after Leo explains everything to Ava and Callie, he heds into the house despite them being like, don't do it. Like, it's not worth it.
Don't do
Don't
it.
do
it.
Don't do it.
And he's like, get off of me.
Get off of me. My murder boner is still hard.
I hasn't flagged once.
Good God.
So he goes inside. And he threatens Warren. And
Half-mast my
Shut the fuck up.
so he goes inside. He threatens Warren and his wife. And it cuts to Leo walking out, covered in I put covered in blurb. But as he's walking out, he's shot by who is he shot by?
Big
Daddy.
And as
Whoa.
Big Daddy's like telling him like, we're supposed to be killing people because people aren't killing enough people, and we need the poor to die. Is basically what he's saying.
Basically, he's like, this is a night of killing, not saving, bitch.
Yeah,
So,
there's an unwritten rule. Don't save anyone.
So
blessed be.
Yep. So as he's about to finish him up, Warren comes out and ends up shooting Big Daddy, revealing that
Shovel
Leo
chin
didn't-
goes down.
Leo didn't kill him.
Mercy.
And then as he's shot, Big Daddy's squad shows up, and
They're
Ava and
full
Callie get out of the car,
glocked up.
and Warren has his
Cheeked
gun, and they're all like,
They're all glocked up Mexican standoff style.
Yep.
And then you hear, "Wham!"
and the purge
Beautiful.
officially comes to an end, making Big Daddy's death legal and Leo safe.
Incredible.
So the movie ends with Warren driving Leo and Ava and Callie to the hospital. The end.
It's just like, okay, no, it's okay. I'm like, it's just
Let's get
so
into this.
crazy. It's just so crazy. Like, you hear the sirens, right? And you just stop. But like, this also
It's
brings
crazy
into
that no one
question.
cheats.
It brings into question what I was about to say is like, why didn't the Forever Purge happen sooner? Why didn't people like revolt or like cheat the system a little bit?
Wow.
I'm sure a
I-
couple of people probably cheated and was like, you know what, it's 5 minutes past and ain't no one around to see it.
I
There's
didn't look
always-
at my clock. I'm sorry. I had headphones in. I didn't hear the alarms.
There's always underground like conversations, at least from what we learned in the Forever Purge. Sorry, I mean, if you're listening to our podcast, you know you're gonna get spoilies. But like, people revolt eventually, and they don't follow the rules. They're like, "But the purge is over," and it's like, "Not now, bitch. It's the Forever Purge."
Forever Purge.
So like, I'm like, why didn't that happen sooner? But it was just incredible to me that like, because you know this is like the 6th year of the purge, like people just would put their guns down, and I'm
Well,
like,
there's several years in between that one and the Forever Purge.
yeah, but even then, like this is the 6th year, so how X amount of years between that and the Forever Purge, I'm like, that's just fucking wild to me that people, I'm sure people did cheat the system.
Well, yeah, they say whatchamacallit, crime rate is down to 5%. Not
But
that it's
also-
non-existent, down to 5%.
What I learned from SVU is that you can kill a body and people will be like, that was 5 hours ago, and it's like the purge ended more than 24 hours ago, so even though we just found this body.
Well, then they would definitely direct resources to solving that.
And also, other question, do they just immediately kill somebody who like commits crime? I mean, at this point it's like,
Is that the other deterrent, aside from like, you know, you guys are allowed to have crime one night a year, but if you commit crime any other time,
you die.
just immediately?
Why would they? I mean, do you profit off of institutionalized private systems?
Yes.
Yes.
The answer is yes.
Do you want them to be in jail, or do you just want them dead because they're poor either way?
Yes.
Yes, also good answer.
Also yes.
Anyway, I'm gonna get off of that soapbox.
The implications.
I believe before we get into all the other stuff, Antonio, you had a question?
Oh. Do you think, because this is set in 2023 and the first one was 2022, do you think if everyone was in quarantine for COVID, would there have still been a purge?
I would say yes, because people don't give a fuck, dude.
That
People
part.
never gave a fuck. People still not be vaccinated. And I'm just gonna say right now, you still haven't been vaccinated. Fucking get vaccinated. But no, yeah, I think that would happen. Yes, I think
They'd be
people
like,
would still.
all right,
purge.
guys, you're allowed out of your houses and it's for murder. Have fun.
Guess what? There's no laws. And also, there was never any laws. It was just societal niceties to stay home if you were sick or just quarantine, period. People still didn't do that.
Mm-hmm.
I kind of miss quarantine.
Quarantine too.
I miss quarantine.
Anyway, yes. Nothing stops the purge.
Purge is forever, baby.
Purge is forever. It's
Baby.
our God-given government right.
I feel like I also had a
Blessed
question,
be
but
The
Then you
fruit.
remember what it was. Blessed be the fruit.
That's Handmaid's Tale.
Yeah. I've never seen that.
And yet you know the word.
blessed be
They
America,
did
a
parody
nation
for Drag Race, I
reborn.
remember.
That's what
It
they
was
said.
Alaska.
Alaska and
And
Chad.
Chad Michaels. Anyway,
I love it.
anyway, loser, did you like the movie?
I did like the movie. I thought it was so good. Like, it was so different than the first one. And I think you're absolutely correct in saying that should have been the first one. This is what I anticipate now. Knowing the rest of the series, like, even though I don't know the storylines exactly, that's exactly what I expect from every single Purge after that. You know?
See,
Not that they failed in the first one, because it was a thriller, and to bring the idea of that. But now there's more story to tell. That keeps the interest. That keeps them, like,
that
sucked
creates
in.
a franchise.
Yeah.
That creates a franchise. But imagine if they didn't decide to do a franchise. The original Purge, as it's like by itself, is a concept movie, which is just supposed to be more of an idea of like, hey, we target the poor and everything like that, but just create like a small cast and a small like production value and everything like that. You know, it's just one storyline that's supposed to be interesting.
Yeah.
Like Hereditary is never going to be a franchise,
But it was so
but it was so good.
I would love
If the
to
Purge
watch
was
someone who's
so
never seen
good,
it.
then they might never have created a franchise of it. But if it's mediocre,
We'll keep trying.
we'll keep trying until we find our formula, just like we did with Saw or Fast and Furious.
Well, I think
or
Also is like
Mission
it peaks-
Impossible.
if you have a good concept, you can build off of it.
And it's a good concept.
And it's a good concept because it's like
But if you kept it as a singular concept movie, The Purge by itself, if you didn't think that, hey, we're making this movie with the intention of creating a franchise, The Purge by itself is just fine. It's okay.
yeah.
It's okay. Is it great? There are lots of mediocre movies in this world that create franchises, but
But I think it also comes down to like
what they wanted to do with it.
what audiences said too.
And
'cause
that's
they
what
were
it
like,
was.
More blurred.
That's exactly
And they were
what-
like, you know what?
you know what? So they're like, fuck concepts. Let's
Same
do a
with Saw,
franchise.
because like as
Exactly.
Saw
No,
went
that's-
on, yeah, no,
so
you're
this got
absolutely right.
this got the Saw treatment. We decided to glam her up and make her pretty and sell it to everyone and make a franchise, and that's how they decided to make the movie
And people
instead of like
ate.
artistic.
People ate.
They eated it up.
They eat it. They eat. I think it's not that like I wanted the blood, though I'm sure that's what the audience wants, you know? My thing is like I really wanted that societal implication of like how it works in like different classes and like that basically what we saw in this one, right? And I feel like with such a cool concept of like one like night for crime, that's what I wanted to see, which is what I got from this second one. So I feel like if the first one was the second one, like a more like zeroed in like point of view, it would have made sense to me.
I think, but now that I'm thinking about it, I feel like every movie does like a different point of view because we have the first one that's like upper class family. We have the second one that's like 3 different types of people, like storylines. And then in the third one, it's technically like politicians.
It's a political
And
message
then
in
the
the third
first
one.
the first Purge is obviously like a prequel to how all of this started.
They can keep giving us all these perspectives because they still have a fresh concept.
Yeah.
That shit still.
I mean,
grips
that's
us.
why they made the
I mean,
Forever Purge.
They're doing
They keep asking what if in every single aspect
Marvel's
and
What If.
level.
and they're doing another one. They're doing another Purge movie because me and Antonia thought the Forever Purge was the last one. It is not.
Oh, I know it's not.
They're doing another one. They're doing another one, and Frank Grillo's in it. He's gonna be Leo, so Leo
Oh.
is still gonna be.
He's
in it.
gonna reprise his role. Interesting.
So I don't know if it's gonna be another like prequel or if it's after the Forever Purge. I would be interested to see where they go after the Forever Purge because that was like a
that was
crazy
very
time.
open ended.
It's a very scary look at what could very much happen.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. So
And how do you contain that within the board?
That
I was
conversation.
Thank you.
Also, I feel like what where this is going to lead is eventually perhaps the end of the Purge, but might take like 2 more movies or something to get to that.
At the very
Yeah,
least.
Yeah.
You know, honestly, they keep doing the Purge and they keep doing it at Halloween Horror Nights, and I love it. So
And
I
they
mean,
love me.
so
they love you.
so yeah, they do. LLD, ladies love Dahlia.
Ladies love me.
So Jason Blum, Daddy Jason Blum, you keep doing you, boo.
I'll be there in the theater for you at any given
I'll
time.
always be there for you.
You've made
dog.
a new fan. I'm committed.
Um,
Here we come, Black Phone.
Ethan.
You should call us
Hawk.
sometime. We're really big fans of you, Ethan.
Me and
Now
Dahlia
we had
are.
two movies
Antonio
with
and Ketzel
you.
can just.
I respect your craft, good sir.
and that's like
My guy's guy.
my guy's guy.
and that's Ethan Hawke. Let's be
Good craft. Hot cast?
Yes.
Yes.
all good-looking people.
I mean,
I also
Frank.
to the side of that, it's like they picked also great people to play terrible people. Like Diego, fucking scary,
Dude,
dude in his
his teeth.
Oh,
He was
yeah, we
Ava's-
didn't mention
Yeah,
Diego.
he was Ava's like fucking I guess.
Stalker.
Neighbor. He
Neighbor.
was like
Stalker
the
neighbor,
creeper
creepy neighbor.
in her building.
yeah. So I'm just like, oh, that also brings to light like men's is trash. Like I
Men's
don't
with
owe you
power and violence.
anything. Like just because I don't want you, like doesn't like I don't know, because this is the fucking Purge. This is different rules or whatever. But I'm just like, men have the audacity.
That's.
And
Yeah.
that's that. We'll just leave it there. I just think that they picked a lot of great people to play terrible
Well
roles.
casted.
Yes, very well casted. Like the MC, right? She was just terrible, like, but she was so good at what she was doing. Like,
what was
love it.
God, what was the name of? She looked like an evil version of the hostess from Great British Bake Off. Not hostess, one of
Mary
the judges.
Mary Berry.
Yeah, Mary Berry.
You fucking put some fucking good thing you're stopping me from laughing at him. You put some fucking respect on her name.
But she seems like an
Gone
evil
too
version of her.
soon. Not dead,
No.
but gone too soon from
Yeah,
the
they
show.
took her
Let's
from
be
me.
clear. Soggy bottom. Anyway, yes.
Also-
hot cast, solid cast. Yeah.
Like I said, I think Frank Grillo's probably not a great person in real life, but in this movie, I jump
You were
on
like,
that so
zaddy.
I was like,
Daddy. Sorry.
Daddy. No.
Daddy.
I'm your friend. Okay, Daddy.
Anyway,
Anyway,
Girls
soundtrack
are made of
/
cinnamon
score.
spice and everything nice, and men are made of audacity.
Audacity, gall, and gumption.
Soundtrack / score.
I don't remember anything, but I liked all of the
Just
sounds
like
and all
general
of the noises.
like atmospheric sounds are all I
Good.
remember.
Like purge noises.
Dude,
General Purge
I
noises.
did have a thought though, as like somebody was like stabbing somebody or like hitting somebody. I'm like, those sounds are just so awful. Like, just make me
Yeah,
want to
like-
throw up. And I'm like, that's a good sound. That's a good sound for this movie. But
Sound
for me,
mixing.
It's a very real
Ugh.
sound, I think.
Yeah.
but very very good.
I noticed the song, I guess part of the score. I noticed in the end credits, like with the choral music. Did any of you guys notice that?
I did not.
You were in the bathroom.
No.
I was like, oof, this is like haunting with it. So I'd say good.
Yeah,
I can't say I really noticed. It's general.
Yeah.
Actiony
it didn't detract from the movie. So
No.
if anything, it enhanced it. If we didn't notice it.
Yeah.
Exactly. It just was a facet of it.
Costume design, set design, location.
I love the peacoat.
I love the peacoat.
Please, I beg you. No.
Shut up, dude.
No.
And I like his hair too.
Sarah's
I
very good.
liked Callie's green jacket.
And the plaid. I liked that combo too.
Tanya's top is exactly everything that she was like speaking herself embodied in that color of that top.
the peplum top.
Yes, it was peplum too. Cute top.
Yeah.
Like the sister too, she looked like dowdy, boring, like people like step all over her. She was dressed kind of like that too. And the hair also like they did a lot of good things here. And even like her husband, the sister that killed Tanya, like he was wearing that stupid like camo. Like he's
Just
trying
like
to be
this nerdy-
badass.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was funny. I'm just like, like how they depict that. Like, I think they did a really good job, like with all that costuming and stuff, and like set locations so varied. I just really wonder how the hell did they like film this and took
go
away
back.
all the lights of the cars like disappearing from the roads.
Big Daddy's butcher apron.
I was thinking that too. I was
Very
like, I think that really
iconic.
told
It told a story. Yeah.
He's a butcher.
It's
Absolutely.
like
And he's big.
It had like that feeling of what should we call? Midnight on the Meat Train.
Yes.
Midnight Meat Train.
Yeah.
Midnight Meat Train. Yeah, had that same vibe. I was like, the lighting was there, the costume was
Lighting.
there,
Yeah.
just like the general
When they
disregard
were-
for human life.
In the most dangerous game, like, you know, the elitists were trying to kill the main characters. Like, even there, it was like everything was like green and dark and filmy and like spooky.
Ooh. Those were some
Ooh.
get-ups too.
Yeah, those two. I think they really depicted, like you
And
said,
Car-
the worst.
Also, like Carmelo Jones's outfit.
His outfit is very
and
like.
kind of
everybody
grungy
on that team with the
utilitarian.
berets.
Well, yeah, it's an echo of like the Black Panthers and like.
I
it's fucking
loved
awesome.
it.
The glasses, the whole look,
glasses.
the drip.
Carmelo Jones is just it. Like,
Also, Carmelo was played by Michael K. Williams, R.I.P. He's been in also a lot of things. He was in the last thing I saw him in was Lovecraft County.
Oh, you did watch that.
Yeah, it was pretty good.
Was it? I
Rip.
didn't hear that much about it.
It was good. I mean, they canceled it, so it's only one season, which kind of
Oh, that sucks.
impeccable
Oh.
acting, though.
It was great.
Impeccable.
Mhm.
And he continues to be in this series as a leader.
Mm-mm.
And not after this. Okay, I guess I'll have to find that out on my own. Oh, gosh. Is it because
Election Year
is it-
is a good one.
Election year, me and Antonio saw for free, and that movie was so good. I remember that
You
was
have to
like
watch it.
I mean, I saw
Yeah,
the Nick
I got
Cage
tickets
movie
to it.
for free, and it was good.
through work when I was working at Hot Topic.
Y'all want to get to our favorite quote?
Take it away, Ketzel, because we were all like, write that down, write that down.
Tell me.
I am the father fucker, son of a bitch, and holy shit.
Well, she said, "I am the Holy Trinity," and then said
That
all
part.
which sorry, good.
Sorry.
Thank you for writing that down.
I got
And
you.
if you're not Catholic and you don't know what that means, in the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, but
Amen.
with a stank on it of a slam
With that,
poetress.
like-
I don't like the father fucker part.
Yeah, I was a little like,
Hey,
with
hey,
the holy
hey,
shit,
but-
I was
holy
like,
shit.
But why?
You bring
but why
you bring me back.
motherfucker and not fatherfucker?
Yeah, it should have been.
No, it should be
Well,
father fucker.
Yeah.
Because it's the Father, Son, Holy Spirit.
Yeah, I know, but like,
I wanted to
why
say
is
holy
it
shit.
different?
It wouldn't be mother.
No, it had to. It had to be that, and that's the stank.
So, Dahlia, as the loser of this episode, do you think the movie's worth all the hype it has received? And is it worth a watch for all the other losers out there who have never seen this?
I think that it definitely was worth the hype as like the next movie in this Purge series. I feel like just like Saw, people anticipated this next film. I was gonna watch it. I feel like is the mentality. So yeah, I think it was definitely worth the hype. It was absolutely different from the first Purge, obviously the first movie released. So I feel like there was much more of like me on the ground level as a normie
Yeah.
going through that shit. It really puts that into perspective. I mean, I would recommend it. I don't know if it's like high on the watch list. Like, you don't have to watch it, but honestly, me watching it and it's like, you know, one part of this Menti series, I would say watch it.
Yeah.
If you want to complete the collection, take off your boxes. Yes, absolutely. I think you could probably go your entire life not watching it, but you know, I'm a person too that I think, did I watch The Purge and then I watched Forever
You
Purge?
watched Forever Purge first, didn't you?
You did.
Yeah.
Because it was
That shit was good. I'm like, if you started the Forever Purge, I'm not even mad because I started there too, and I was like, what? You know, it's like going backwards. It's like, I love those kinds of stories where you like you're at the end and then you're like, let's go back. So like, it's good. It's good. I would absolutely recommend it.
Would you recommend, out of the two you've seen, which one would you recommend more? The first one or the second one?
Hard to say because I really, really love the eerie spookiness of
It's different.
the first movie because it was more of a thriller. I'm in my home. And I hate home invasions
Ra-ta-ta-ta.
too.
Ugh. Hate home
Yeah.
I do
invasions.
too.
Y'all know my stupid bio on this podcast on Instagram is like, I'm in between living the zombie apocalypse and like surviving that and also being afraid of being killed in my home. So like, it's just kind of in that vein. Out of the two though, if you're really looking for dynamicism, I would say I would recommend this movie over the first release movie because there's just more
Action.
in there, you know? I feel like you can, and you can get a sense of what the movie is actually like, you know, from the second movie. You didn't have to watch the first one and watch the second one. I think we're running into that like Austin Powers Charlie's Angels case, but like it probably could have fit into a Conjuring.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I thought, because we did the first one, and I'm like, I think it would be interesting to do the second one, because I would love to hear like how you feel about one versus the other.
It's varied, but this one is better.
I mean, and you can see that by the scores.
I feel like I had so many
Not any better than the first one, but they
more
are a little
It
better.
is better. It is better.
No, they're just more likable.
I-
That's all that this movie is. It's pandering.
I do feel like I have a better appreciation for the first one after having seen it and then seen this, and I'm like, this is just like a different perspective. You know, just a different lens on this concept.
Yeah, I think I realized that just now, that it has been like a different viewpoint in every movie. And I think that's been pretty cool. I think you should definitely watch the other ones. Electioneer is really good. The first Purge is actually, I think, my favorite one out of the series. It was really good.
You should just watch them for fun.
Yeah, we don't have to watch it for here, but you should definitely check them all out.
I will. I probably will. I'll probably go through another rabbit hole tonight if I already didn't watch these films 100 times. What is that guy? Is it CZ's World on YouTube? He always reviews it. Shout out to that guy, because like I watch his videos.
Is he the guy that's really emo grungy, like shag cut? Yeah.
He did a really good. I watched I think I watched some of his Saw series. He did like a whole history on Saw.
I did.
I was
see some
eating
of
that
those.
shit up because I love Saw so
We'll
much.
tag you somewhere.
I gotta watch this. I've never heard of this.
Yeah, it's good.
Oh, you've never been here when I go on my rabbit hole.
No.
thing.
I've been on the other side of the country, but I hear about him.
You're just sleeping.
I'm just
I gotta go to
sleeping.
bed.
I gotta go.
But it's great. Watch this one if you're gonna watch one first. Yeah, I mean, for me, my experience is I watched the Forever Purge and the first ever released Purge, and then this Purge Anarchy. And honestly, I'm not really mad about it, only because like I got the fucking hardcore shit and like probably the questions anybody's ever wanted to ask about the Purge done and out of the way, and then I get to go humble beginnings route.
That's true.
And
That's
I like
interesting.
that a lot, actually. I'm glad that it went this way. Just like how I watched, what is it? Is it Us, right? From Jordan Peele.
Oh, and then you watched
Get
Get
Out.
And then I watched Get Out, and I had a much more appreciation for it, and I wasn't disappointed because I liked the film for what it was. But a lot of people did the reverse.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Because of the
everyone-
release.
everyone was like disappointed in us.
So-
I really liked Us.
It pays
I
to
do
not
like Us.
watch
I
films.
liked Us. That was good.
Why don't people like
Well,
It pays to not watch films and be like, let me watch it in the correct order, or like one that makes sense.
Yeah.
Logically, for me, what I've experienced is very, very. I would recommend it.
I can see why. It makes sense when you say it. Like, you get the heart, like the questions out of the way. Why did people not like Us? Because it wasn't as good as Get Out. It was the general consensus.
And people.
Well,
were
it's
also
not like
confused
number
by
2.
it.
Yeah, it's so open ended. It's like
Yeah.
very David Lynchy.
I thought it was.
I
very good.
love that.
Why
I
can't we go
I
5
love an
episodes,
open-ended.
Dahlia? Without you
David
mentioning
Lynch,
it.
reach out to me. I watch all of your Friday posts.
I love you. I love you. Adopt
Kyle
me.
McLaughlin, I love
Kyle,
you.
please.
Kyle, please.
Kyle,
reach
I've had your
please.
wine. I've had your coffee.
I haven't had you.
I'd like to shake your hand. I think you're great.
All right, and
Okay,
on,
all right.
I think that's a good place to end this
Yeah.
episode.
And scene.
All
All
right.
right, let's close this out.
That's it for sit down.
And that's it.
That's it.
That's all, folks. Bye.
That's all, folks.
I'm fucking good. Stop giggling. That's it for Sit Down Loser. We're watching a movie. Join us next time.
Bye, losers.
Forever Purge.